So yes, I have been on a cut for the past 7 weeks. If you don't know what a cut is, it's when you are in a calorie deficit trying to lose fat, and I'm also trying to retain and or build muscle. So I've been doing that for the last 7 weeks, and I've got 5 more weeks to go. So today I'm going to show you what a typical day looks like. It's not exciting, it's very repetitious. And I've had a hard time doing what I eat in a day videos in the last 7 weeks because it's not very exciting. You know, I like the food, I'm not sick of it, but you know, there's not really much to show you. I will be showing you a new recipe with a new product. I showed you a little bit of that on my last video, but I'm going to do another recipe with that. And then we'll just go right into what I'm eating, starting with breakfast. You'll see a little bit of food prep along with my normal things that I'm eating. It's very important when you're in a cut that you track what you're eating because you really can't manage what you don't measure. And I also like to use the Hume Body Pod because it lets me know how much fat I'm burning, it lets me know how much muscle I'm building, or if I'm not building muscle or I'm losing muscle and I'm gaining fat, so I can adjust my nutrition accordingly. It's really been a game changer for me. If you use my discount code along with whatever sale they're having, you can get up to 50% off your scale. So it's well worth it. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can give it a try. If you don't like it, you can send it back, but I love it. I weigh myself once a week, and then I just track my progress. And then I know, okay, next week I'm gonna need to tweak this or tweak that. The recipe will be in the description box below that I'm going to be doing for breakfast, along with all the macros. And just a note that the macros really are just an estimate. I put it into Chronometer and it figures it out for me. But if you're not using the exact same product as I'm using, yours may vary. So just keep that in mind. This is just a general calculation. You should definitely do your own calculations. And then just a quick reminder about my birthday goal in October is to reach 40,000 subscribers. I am turning 70 and my channel is turning 10. So if you haven't already subscribed, it would mean the world to me if you help me reach my goal of 40,000 subscribers. All right, that's enough chatting. Let's jump right in. So you need a really good nonstick pan, and I did a little spritz of avocado oil spray and then just used a paper towel to swoosh it around the pan there, but just a very little amount. Heat will go on to medium, and then we're going to be using spinach. I've got some peppers and onions. My husband likes to chop up green, red, yellow peppers and onions and then just freeze them, so we always have them in the freezer and it's really convenient. Highly suggest you do that. A little bit of mushroom and a little bit of tomato. Once there's a little heat on the pan, then we're just going to add all our stuff in. Everybody in to the pool. Saute that around. I think I will turn the heat down just a little bit. And then I want to add some garlic salt. I just love my little spice thing here. It's so great. Just a little bit of garlic salt. I've put in 2 tablespoons of the animal-free egg white into the bowl. And then for every tablespoon, it's 3 tablespoons of water, so here is 6. And then you just use a little whisk. And it takes a minute to incorporate. And it looks like, oh, it's not going to work. But just give it some time and it will work. And you see it's coming together. Then I just want to make sure that this is in a nice little layer here. And then I just add the egg white in. Do a little swirl around. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Daiya Italian shreds here. It's just a little bit of cheese. You don't have to add that in if you don't want. Literally, it's this much. Then once it's set, and you can check just going around the edges, make sure it lifts up nicely. I'll let this go for another few seconds. And I'm not always the best at this, but you know what? We'll give it our best shot. Never said I was a chef. I think this one's going to break apart, but that's okay. It's gonna taste great. And then we just do a flip. Oh, that one's pretty good. And then I turn the heat off, cover it for just a minute, and want to make sure that cheese gets nice and melty. And here we go, all done. I paired it with my high protein gluten-free bagel with a little bit of my homemade yogurt. And this is about 27 grams of protein, about 300 calories, and it'll keep you full for hours. And it looks just like an egg white omelet. I think it looks amazing, and it tastes amazing. Definitely. So moving on to lunch and actually dinner, I'm gonna make some tofu that I'm gonna have for lunch and for dinner, and also get some broccoli steamed up. And I also need to start another batch of my Greek yogurt, so I will show you how I start that. So I'm going to cube up 2 boxes of these because why not? That way I have it for a few days, and I'll show you how easy this is. And I love using the Big Mountain, and I say this all the time. It's higher in protein and no fat, no carbs. You get 16 grams of protein for a quarter of this package. You just can't beat the macros on this thing. All right, we're gonna cube these up and then we'll season them. And sorry about the funky light here. You don't have to press this. I just rinse it off and pat dry. And you don't even need to do that if you don't want to. And I just like to do big chunks. It's just easier. But if you'd like to cube them smaller, you do you. Then we just start throwing the seasonings on, garlic, salt. Whatever kind of seasonings you like, then that's what you're going to use. And if you've been following me for a while, you know these are my favorite. Garlic, salt, onion powder, and smoked paprika. And then I'm going to do some nutritional yeast as well. And then I just toss to coat. And then I'll do it again. A little lighter version on the second round. And then I'm just going to air fry these in my oven. I have an air fryer setting at 425 for about 15 minutes. If you just have a standalone air fryer, you could do it on 400 for about 15 minutes or so. And then if you just have a regular oven, I would do it at, you could do it at 425, but it'll probably take you a little longer. Maybe 25 minutes? I'm guessing, but you'll know when it's crispy. And then just on a lined baking sheet, and yes, I know I have the white parchment paper. My bad. I will get the brown one next time. I got a lot of comments on that. So I will correct that next time around. But I got the double pack at Costco, so it'll be a little bit. Anywho, put these on here, just in a nice little layer. And we'll pop them in, and then I'm going to show you how I start my yogurt. So before I start my yogurt, this is the inside of my Instant Pot. I'm going to pour some boiling water in here. Now some people say you don't need to do this, but I do it anyway. So it's up to you. And I just kind of let it go around the sides and the bottom just to make sure it's nice and clean. and then I dump it out. I let it cool off for a minute because I don't want to put the soy milk in hot. And the reason why I do that is because other things are cooked in this Instant Pot. So I want to make sure it's pristine. You don't want to mess with any of the live cultures. So I'm just using plain soy milk. This is only soybeans and water. That's what you want. And 2 quarts. And people ask me many times if you can use other milks to do this. I don't know because I've never really done other milks. So, but I know you can find a lot of YouTube channels that can tell you how to do that. I like soy milk. I like the flavor. I like the protein content. This works for me. And I will link the video where I really go into detail on how to make this. That'll be in the description box. And to this, I'm going to add some whey. And this is just the liquid that you get when you drain the yogurt. I drain my yogurt to make it a Greek style. If you have not made the yogurt yet, you don't have any of the leftover whey, then just go to the store and get a little container of vegan yogurt. Make sure it's plain. You can add, you know, a 1/4 cup of that to your soy milk. And I store these, I freeze these in these little mason jars. Then you plop it in, frozen, just like that. Then we will place this into our Instant Pot. And since this is not coming up to pressure, I just use a glass lid that I got especially for the occasion. If you don't have the glass lid, then feel free to use the lid that comes with the Instant Pot. And then we are just going to use the yogurt, and I'm going to do it for 10 hours. 10 to 12 hours is fine, just depending on when I start it. I started a little late today, so I'm just going to do 10 hours and it'll be perfect. So in case you hadn't noticed, broccoli is my absolute favorite. And I've got my little steamer. So I'm just going to cut this up and add this to my steamer. And I like to use the stems too, so it's perfectly okay to eat. And then I steam this for like 7 minutes. Like I said in the beginning, this is not fancy. It's plain and boring. But that's what gets you to your goals. When you're on a cut, you do what you got to do. And I don't, you know, to me, I don't think it's boring, actually. I don't get tired of it. All right, we'll put the lid on. Make sure the little vent's open. 7 minutes, and then we'll have broccoli for lunch, dinner, and even a little bit for the next day. And here it is, right out of the oven. Nice and crispy. So I like to have a little smoothie with my lunch. I have a half a banana in here, and I have some almond milk. I'm just going to use a half a cup. I'm going to measure that, so that's 120. I'm a little bit over, that's okay. Then I'm going to do a scoop of my absolute favorite protein powder, Earth Chimp, in the vanilla. And this is, look at that, made in Ireland. It's organic, it's got probiotics. So just 1 scoop. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this as well. And then I'll just blend it up and I'll drink that with my lunch. All right, there is my lunch. I'm gonna put a little bit of sweet chili sauce on there, and I've got my smoothie with my biodegradable straw. I will have the exact same thing for dinner, except I will have a little bit more tofu with dinner, and that's gonna be it. Except for, yes, I will have dessert, and I'll show you about how I make that. Now for a little snack, I'm gonna have a half an apple and a half of a protein bar. Quick, easy snack. Okay, and here's dinner, same as lunch. Just a little bit more tofu on this one. So it's just so easy when you have all the stuff prepared. I already had my tofu done, my broccoli, just throw it in a bowl, reheat it, and dinner's ready in like 3 minutes. So dinner is done. Now it's time for dessert. And I've showed you this many times and I'm still loving it. So I've got my Greek yogurt. This is what it looks like after it's been strained for a couple days. And I just do a serving is about 170 grams. Close enough. Then I'm going to add some Earth Chimp chocolate protein powder. Just 1 scoop. And then I've got some chocolate chips. And these are sugar-free and Trader Joe's mixed together. And then you just mix it all up. And then once it's all mixed up, then I add some of this chocolate sauce. Make sure this is zeroed out. And just a little bit, like 10 grams. Just enough to give it that yummy, decadent chocolate flavor. Okay, we'll stop at 9. That looks like a good amount. Oh, there it went to 10. Perfect. And that's it. And that's how I'm going to make one of these for my husband. And we're going to watch a show. And that'll be it. So that is all my exciting food for the day. It may not be fancy, but it works. So now it's time to drain the yogurt. So I have this really cool strainer. It makes it really easy. It's just got this fine mesh strainer that goes into here, and then you just cover it, and then we leave it in the refrigerator for 48 hours. A little less is fine, but around 48 hours. So you just pour it all in here, and then all the liquid will drain into the bottom here, and then at the end of the 48 hours, I'll collect some of that and just put it in the freezer. Now you could eat it just like this, it would be yogurt, but I like it Greek style. Nice and thick, and it also amplifies the protein. Greek yogurt has more protein than just your regular yogurt. All right, we'll put the lid on, put that in the fridge. So in 36 to 48 hours, we'll have Greek yogurt. You saw the consistency when I made my dessert. That's what this will look like. All right, so that is my what I ate in a day while I am on a cut. And as I said before, the recipe will be down below and all the macros. Also, all the resources I offer are in the description box. And again, if you're interested in the Hume Body Pod, the link is down below along with the discount code. And all my other discount codes are down there as well. So there's a lot to check out in the description box. And if you like this video, if you learned something, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And please help me reach my goal of 40,000 subscribers for my 70th birthday. If you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with deficit, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet. And what you put on your plate determines your fate. Until next time, thank you. Hi, it's me again. It's the next day, and I was at the gym on the treadmill, and I realized that the video I filmed yesterday, I didn't give you the macros and all that. So I'm going to do that right now. So I hope you made it to the end here so you can get the macros. Anywho, I did 1,396 calories. I had 120 grams of protein, 163 grams of carbs, a little under 39 grams of fat, and fiber was 41.3 grams. So a pretty good day. I've been trying to get between 14 and 1,500 calories, anywhere between 110 and 120 grams of protein, keeping my fat around 40 grams. Carbs I don't worry about, and I like fiber 35 to 40 grams. So I hit all the marks for that day, and I hope that helps you. And I will give you the results of my cut in about 5 weeks. I've got 5 weeks left, and we'll see where I end up. Yeah, I just want to lean out a bit. I'm not really caring about losing a lot of weight or anything like that. I just want to lean out a bit lose some body fat. I do have some visceral fat that I'm trying to get rid of. That's the dangerous kind of fat. So we'll see where I end up in about 5 weeks. All right, so that's it. See you in the next video.